you.
How about how long have you been doing hair, Sheri?
Oh my God. So I started with Lords and Ladies in 2001. And I started doing hair October of 2003. So I am heading into year 23.
That's amazing. No, congratulations. That's amazing.
Thank you. It feels weird to say it. I still don't feel like I'm an adult. So
See, I'm just a girl.
started out as an assistant in Douglasville. We had 2 salons at the time, which is crazy to think about. It was only Pottstown and Douglasville. And then I graduated from the Votech in 2003 and went through the almighty Terry Durr cutting classes for the summer. Um, so I started in October of 23 doing hair, and I started out in Douglasville. And then in, oh my God, I can't even think of what year, what was, so I was there for about 12 years. And then I switched to our Exeter location when we opened that one up. And that was at the same time as Perkiomoville was opening up, so that was crazy. And then I was there for 12 years, and then I've been at our Sinking Spring location for 2 now. And then when I went to Exeter, so I've been a part of our education team for 14 years altogether.
Awesome.
So that's been crazy to think about all of that. And then I think when we talked a little bit earlier about resets. Like that's kind of one of them. It's like you switch a salon and that kind of gives you that rejuvenation. Opening up a salon is actually one of the coolest things because you really kind of help to create that culture within the salon. And it's been amazing to like see that area change and the people grow and, but then you just get those life itches. So, then I just needed to, it was more so I realized personally that my kids go to school there. I do a lot of teenagers' hair and parents and teachers, and I was getting to a point where my conversations weren't professional, where I wasn't treating my clients the way that I needed to because I was talking to them like they were my daughter's friends rather than the clients behind my chair. So I felt as though at that point I needed to give myself more of a separation from that. Um, and a lot of those people that I felt, and I actually had one particular client, and I did apologize to the mom and son when we moved to Sinking Spring. And I was like, I was really like, I did not have the proper conversation. Like, I was treating this like I was a high schooler. And they're like, oh, we weren't offended at all. And I'm like, well, I appreciate that, but I just felt it in my gut that like I was pushing limits. So I was like, I need to take myself out of the comfort place of being so close to home and kind of change it up. And that's been like a rejuvenation period of like kind of just getting out and having that downtime to drive. I missed that when I used to go to Douglasville and I'm like, oh, it's so nice to have 20 minutes to myself on the way home. Then when I get home, my 16-year-old wants to talk about every period of the day. I have the energy to listen to it. So that goes along with like kind of rejuvenating, and I absolutely love teaching. I think that has been something I never realized like the passion I had for it. And I'll actually never forget. I'm pretty sure I taught with you, Ashley, for one of the first classes, and I was like, I don't want to get up there. You do it. It does take a stage fright, and you do have to get comfortable with yourself. And I'm great talking to people one-on-one or, 2-on-1 like we are now, but getting in front of a bunch of people was intimidating.
Yeah.
But I love that, every 3 to 4 months we have a different crew of people, different personalities, different salons, and, different mindsets. So it's interesting to really see like, number one, how was their schooling? Number two, you can kind of judge in a nice way, like what their upbringing is, like what their work ethic is. And, it's been really an interesting ride, I should say.
I love that.
So I have many hats.
Yeah, I love that. Good.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah, I love your perspective on knowing, I think I have totally felt that too. Where in situations where you weren't as professional as you really wanted to be. And I look back and I think how young I was in having certain conversations and things like that. So yeah, I can relate to that. So thank you for sharing that perspective. I love that.
No problem.
What
Yeah.
what else can we talk about?
That was like your whole perspective and everything that you said of all those like different facets of your life too, and like evolving from like an assistant and then moving on to a different, you know, being a stylist and now being an educator. Like all of the things that you have learned from the beginning, just being an assistant, I'm sure have all helped you, you know, you grow and blossom into the position that you are now. And that takes a lot of like self-recognition too, to realize like, am I growing here or am I comfortable here? So
Oh,
there is like growth in being uncomfortable.
so
So
good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I definitely, I mean, that was a huge turning point for me is I was super duper comfortable in Exeter because it's like, you know, I'm 7 minutes from home, I'm 2 minutes from my daughter's school, I'm 8 minutes from my son's school, like the convenience of everything. And it was like, okay, I have to stop getting stuck in the rut of being everything being easy and convenient.
right.
Like
Mhm.
I have to do personally what's going to be better for my mental health and looking forward and what's going to happen. And it kind of came as, okay, if I go there in a couple of years, my daughter will be driving. So if I have any issues, and the reality, you know, was I'm only 30 minutes from my son's school. So if something happens, I can still get there in time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's putting aside the conveniences and that natural, like, okay, this is just easy and being super duper uncomfortable. I will never forget my first day. Like, it was like going to kindergarten for the first time.
Yeah.
I literally had butterflies. I was nervous. I didn't remember where things were. And it was like, you know, I had to meet new people. And I have a very, large personality. So I had to like rein it in to be like, okay, like, can you help me? Now I'm comfortable and they're used to me that I'm the loudest person in the room, which is usually always the case. But it really sets you aside to like being vulnerable is not easy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, but I've noticed with all the years that I've been here, there are people that have been here longer than me, but they enjoy the people they work with, the people they do, and they're okay with their consistency. I still have the teaching, which is different all the time. So I think it's being okay to change, which
Mhm.
change is hard, but it's like sometimes if it's little change, like you're still within the industry. So you still have like your love, your passion, like, you know, your obsession for what you're doing, which I think is, you know, a lot of what brought us into this is we have that need to help people
Uh-huh.
and make people feel the best versions of themselves.
Yep.
So it's what can we do to feel the best version of ourselves?
The same self-care
So,
that we tell them they need to do, we need to also do that for ourselves.
A
I
hundred
and we're
percent.
the worst at it.
right.
Yeah, we really are. I know I am.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I need to get better at it. No, that's
Yeah.
a good point. I'm glad that you brought that up. I love that there's always options. It doesn't mean that you need to walk away from the industry. I'm a huge believer in that. There's always so much to do, so much work that can be done. And I just encourage people to stay uncomfortable and get through the hard, tough times and, just keep plugging through. Being consistent is the biggest piece of it all. And, whatever that looks like for everybody is going to be different. But, once you
Yeah.
get through those like little bumps in the road, it definitely becomes smoother sailing and all worth it, I
Yeah.
think. But yeah, and that could be like anything. Like we'll bring in new when we brought in Vish, like that was something that was uncomfortable. A software system that really helps not only you as a stylist, but also the owners as well. Something that can really set us apart from the salon down the street too.
Yeah.
Sometimes we can't see those like big pictures because it's like new and it's something you have to work at understanding and getting used to using. But once you understand the why and the reasons, like the purpose behind it all, I think it all just kind of clicks and then becomes part of your daily routine.
That is true.
Yeah.
All right. Well, no, this was so good. This probably could be like 4 different podcasts. So I really appreciate you guys coming on here and doing this with me. Thank you